So what is a big distraction for you? Like, what is something that as soon as it comes on, like you ain't got no choice, but I have to see this or I have to do this? Go ahead, drop the comments down below, man. It's Bad Dog Podcast. Stay tuned. You are now listening to Bad Dog Podcast. What's up, you guys? It's a brand new episode here at Bad Dog Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button down there. And go ahead and get in them comments, man. We talking about distractions, man. What is something that always distracts you? You just have to just engage with, like, every time, man. Go ahead and drop a comment down below and we'll talk about it. So today, in our episode here today, we're going to be talking about distractions, man. What are things that, keep us from reaching our highest goals, our achievements, all of that stuff. So we're going to get into it and let's do it. So here's the definition right here of distraction, okay? A thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else. Y'all see that? Giving your full attention to something else. Now that's huge because we all know anything that we want to achieve, man, we got to put our all into it, man. We can't give it 50%, 60%, 80%. It doesn't work like that. We got to put 80% into it. We got to put 100%, not 80, 100% of our focus onto whatever it is that we're trying to achieve, whatever, accomplishment we're trying to move. That's how it's done. So there's two things that I want to discuss with you guys about distractions. And the first thing is we're either easily distracted by everything, or we're distracted by our own interests. And this is huge because, like I said, being distracted, it prevents us from hitting our highest goal. But if we're distracted because we're trying to hit our highest goal, then that's good. So I would balance it out as, negative distractions and positive distractions. You see what I'm saying? A positive distraction would basically, to me, be, stuff that's going to keep you in tune to what it is that you're trying to, your goal, your mark that you're trying to hit. A negative distraction is things that are going to push you far away from it. Like, buddy, that has nothing to do with what you're trying to do. Like, you're going down a rabbit hole. And so when we're really, really focused on something, it's easier to filter out distractions that don't align with that. And that's part of what we have to do, especially in society. There is a lot of distractions. I'm talking about between social media. I'm talking about between the news, what, friends and family got going on. It is a ton of distractions. So we have to make sure, as our star player, as our star player, we have to make sure that we're focused on the things that are going to interest us and are going to move us to a higher level. You see what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing about distractions, is that a lot of the times we don't even know that we're distracted. You see what I'm saying? You could be doing something and something can come across your news feed or whatever. And you be like, this is pretty cool, or this is pretty funny, right? And so from there, you'll just keep, you want to see more and more and more and more until it takes you further and further and further and further away from what you were originally trying to focus on. And this is something that, it happens a lot. Some people can, catch it, but a lot of the times, like, we can't control it. Like, if something comes across our news feed that we just, are interested in, but it's not our main interest, we're going to keep engaging with it. We're going to go, we're going to find that post. We're going to find what page the post came from, and we're going to consume more of the content. And that's just how it is. But here, as people who are trying to grow and better ourselves in a society that is very, very distracting, we have to align ourselves with goals and achievements that are only gonna get us to the higher point that we're trying to get to. You see what I'm saying? We can't really waste time on things that aren't moving the needle for us. You see what I'm saying? There's a million trillion hours of just entertainment online. Like, entertainment is like at our disposal. You see what I'm saying? So if we're not using the technology that we do have in order to help us reach those goals, then we aren't doing our due diligence. You see what I'm saying? We aren't doing anything. We're not doing things that are going to be productive for us to be able to move to a higher level, because it's always about evolving. You always want to evolve. You never want to stay the same person with the same thoughts, with the same knowledge. You always want to grow. That's how people excel in their business. That's how people excel, just in their careers, like, etc. That's how it works. One thing that is super to me that I don't like is when someone I meet from a long time ago comes and, tells me, man, you ain't changed a bit. This doesn't happen, but I'm saying, like, have you guys ever, like, met someone that y'all ain't met or came in contact with somebody that you guys haven't came in contact with in a long time, and then they just, like, bring that to your attention? Like, man, like, you're still the same, man. Like, look at you. Like, that might be a red flag to say, you know what? I think I gotta step my game up. I might have to change my hair. I might have to go back to the gym. Like, I'm gonna have to figure something out. Because we, as humans, we don't want to stay the same. We don't want to stay the same. If you look at how things were 20 years ago, things have changed, especially with the internet and, with everything that's going on. So you never want to be that same person. Just imagine if you were that same person, 20 years ago, 30 years from now, talking about, man, I don't want to use the internet. Man, the internet's for, that's for those young kids. You see what I'm saying? And then knowing how technology is now, like, dude, you have to get with the times. Like, you have to get with technology. Like, if you still have, like, a BlackBerry or, what I'm saying, a Sidekick or something, like, bro, like, that's not gonna work. Like, you need to go get you one of these iPhones. Like, this is what's going on right now. And so, yeah, part of that, like I said, is becoming very, 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 we don't want to become very distracted, man. We want to be in a line of our thoughts, and we want to know where our thoughts are leading to. We never just want to be, in a state that, leaves our mind open to, entertainment, different thoughts, different opinions that we necessarily won't agree with. But at the same time, we don't really have set goals and standards that we can compare them to anyway. So in a lot of times, this is how we get caught up with, believing a lot of, the gossip that goes on, giving an ear to a lot of things that we shouldn't give an ear to, just because, it's in our focus point right now. You see what I'm saying? So this is one of the things that us as humans with technology that we have to be very, very mindful of. You don't want to just walk around being distracted 24/7. It's not good. People get into accidents. I see it all the time. People get into car accidents. You know what I'm saying? People lose things, forget things. Like, it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling at all. And so the other thing what I wanted to talk to you guys about is, like I said, when you're really, really focused on something, you don't let other things distract you. Like, especially, like, for me, when I started, like, really engaging, like, in reading, like, when I was in prison, obviously. But when I was in prison, one of the things that I noticed is that having that idle time can either hurt you or it could be a great benefit for you. It just depends on how you use it. And so one of the things that I used to do was I used to read like a lot of different books, and like it took someone to really point out to me the importance of like feeding your mind. Like you want to give your mind new stuff to like play with. You want to always search for new information. You know what I'm saying? Because new information is going to help you to make different decisions and see things differently, and to be able to open doors that other people who don't have that same knowledge, they're not going to be able to open those things. You see what I'm saying? But it's also a good thing, because it's going to allow you to be able to help them see and open those doors that they may not have been able to open if they haven't came across you. You see what I'm saying? So reading was a huge thing for me when I was in prison. That was like the number one thing. It was like, man, let me go find, and me, I used to read like 3 books at a time. Yeah. Like no exaggeration. Like I would sit there, I would read about 4 or 5 chapters out of, a intellectual book, a self-help book, and then I'll put that down. Okay, let me read this business book. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll put that down. Okay, now let me read this book on, and I would keep track of I would keep track of the information in every single book. Every time the next day came and I picked up the book that I read previously, and I opened the bookmark, like I was tuned in. I was like, okay, yeah, I read this yesterday. Okay, boom, this is where we're at. It's almost like watching 3 different movies, all spontaneously. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna watch this movie for a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna watch this movie for a little bit. All right, now I'm gonna watch this movie for a little bit. And then before you know it, you're knocking books out left and right, to the point to where now the issue is, damn, I don't have nothing to read. I have to find something to read. Because one thing I noticed is when I started engaging and getting into reading, my focus level went up. It went up drastically. It went up drastically to the point to where if I'm reading, I didn't like to be somewhere in which people were gonna try to drive my focus from me reading. You see what I'm saying? And it became awareness to me that maybe I should only read when I'm in the room so people can't bother me. You see what I'm saying? Because again, like I don't like really engaging in reading a book and then somebody asks me a question and then I stop what I'm doing and I answer the question and go back to reading, and then now I'm rereading sentences. And I'm like, dang, I read this already. Like I don't like doing that. And so that was just something that I had to learn about myself, is that if I'm engaged, that I didn't really like to be distracted from what I was engaging in. And this is with a lot of people. Like this is, athletes, if they have a certain, training, routine, they don't want to, this is what I set out with my coach, my performance coach, like this is what we're doing. Like, I don't know. Like, we're not, like, I'm not about to go and slack off. Because it's not going to benefit me. You see what I'm saying? You always want whatever you're doing to benefit you in a positive manner. You see what I'm saying? So when I started really engaging in the books, man, and really started getting a lot out of it, like I said, getting distracted was something that I had to learn how to filter out. You see what I'm saying? It's like I could be reading a book, like really engaged into the book, but yet I could still hear what's going on around me, but not really take my eyes or put my interest on what I'm hearing around me. Does that make sense? Because again, like, we're in a prison setting. So, at any given moment, anything can happen. 2 dudes can start fighting over the phone and, you're sitting reading by the phone, so it's like, oh man, hold on, let me let me get out the way so these guys can do their thing. But again, like, just being engaged in that book and being aware and having the, you still have the opportunity to stop what you're doing and focus more on what you're hearing. But again, it's making that decision. You see what I'm saying? It's a responsibility. It's a responsibility of where you're putting your focus. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people forget, is that what we focus, like, we have to be responsible what we focus on, because you can focus on something that could scare the crap out of you, but yeah, you will be so scared that you would focus on it more and more and more, and then what happens? You become more and more and more scared. So having a real filter on what not to let detour your focus, and what to really put your focus into, those are huge. And those are huge skills that you have to develop over time. You don't just want to always be that person in which people know that they can detour your focus from whatever you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Especially when the stuff that they want you to do, or the stuff they want you to engage with, it's not beneficial to you. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you have to be, an a-hole and just no, I'm doing something. No. But you do have the right to, allow people to know, or even to remove yourself from an environment in which it's going to be super highly distracting, so that you can focus on what you need to focus on. You see what I'm saying? That's the huge thing. And when you make those extra steps and you say, okay, I'm gonna go to the library. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to the library for about an hour, 2 hours. Let me get this done. Or I'm gonna go to Starbucks. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna have me a coffee. And I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna get some work did, I'm gonna look up some stuff. And then you already know what it is that you want to do. So it's not like you're just going and you're just going and you don't really know what you want to focus on, and you're more entertained with what's going on around you. No. You know exactly what you want to do. And so that's the big thing of being responsible with your focus. It's not not being easily distracted. You see what I'm saying? The other thing is that we need to learn how to create tunnel vision. Now, tunnel vision is the opposite of being easily distracted. Tunnel vision is really homing in on a vision or a goal or a purpose, and locking in on that for so long that no matter what's going on outside of this vision, like it doesn't matter. I'm trying to hit this. It's almost like running a marathon. You see what I'm saying? If you're running a marathon, you can't really be focused on where your competitors are. You see what I'm saying? You can't really, oh man, this dude, he's in front of me, man. I gotta. No. You have to focus on your breathing. You have to focus on how long, what's the distance that you have to run. And then you have to start self-talking yourself, motivating yourself through it. Because again, like, you don't know, like that guy can, give up at any single moment. And if you're sitting there focused on him and he gives up, then you're gonna slack off, and you're gonna be like, all right, cool. He gave up, so now I can slack off. Well, no, because there's other people behind you that's trying to win just like you're trying to win. So you gotta keep it, you gotta keep the pace. You have to be the forefront of your focus, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? So this is one of the reasons why I like dogs so much. You know what I'm saying? Especially certain type of dogs. Certain type of dogs are bred and born with that level of focus that is like unbreakable. It's like, listen, if I see this squirrel, I'm watching this squirrel all day until I get it. I'm checking and seeing where this squirrel's going. Like, and this is what, this is ironically what gets dogs in trouble is because they can focus for a long period of time. They can focus on something for very, very long until they start making the movements and the adjustments in order to reach that. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize when they get certain dogs. That's why we help them, to kind of understand their dogs better so that they can get a idea of what it's going to take, to kind of maintain their dog. Because again, like, if you have a dog that's highly, highly, motivated to focus on something and they're in the backyard all day, what do you think's gonna happen? The whole world is, there's something for them to focus on. You see what I'm saying? And then if they're one of those dogs who, are easily distracted, then it's gonna be very, very hard for you to gain their focus. You see what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. That's one of the things why I really like dogs. Because dogs, they teach, honestly, dogs teach humans how to stay focused. Like, if you guys ever noticed or read anything about, sled dogs, huskies are very, very focused. And there's other, breed of dogs that are focused, but huskies they're like one of the top dogs that are very, very focused, and this is where a lot of people, they get into the argument of who's the smartest dogs. And, it all depends. It all depends. We break it down, and for humans, you know what I'm saying? Oh, who's the smartest human? Well, you got guys that, went to college, Harvard graduates, you know what I'm saying? They know a lot of, good stuff out of books. But again, can they fix a Tesla? You see what I'm saying? So, being intelligent compared to what? You see what I'm saying? You have to like break it down. You can't just, say, oh, they're the smartest person alive. Smartest. Yeah, depends what we're talking about. So like, and that's the thing with, like I said, with dogs, that if you read my book, I kind of capitalize on this a little bit. But this is where aggression comes from in certain dogs. Not all dogs, but in certain dogs, this is where aggression comes from. It comes from the frustration of trying to break their focus. You see what I'm saying? Dogs can be so focused, so engaged in something that you telling them to leave it alone is actually agitating them. You see what I'm saying? It's like, nah, I gotta stay focused. I gotta do this. You see what I'm saying? So this is why a lot of dogs that have that high focus, they need to be with someone that understands that. They need to be with somebody that's gonna challenge that focus so that they can feel more good about themselves. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of certain situations, for some dogs, it aren't good. Like dog parks, like, dog parks aren't for every dog. And we always tell people this. Dog parks aren't for every dog, just like nightclubs aren't for everybody. Everybody doesn't like going to nightclubs. A lot of people don't like going to bars. You see what I'm saying? So you have to like understand where your dog is so that you can accommodate for that. Not, restrain them from that. That's just going to create more frustration in the long run. And so, yeah, so like I said, I talk about more of that in my book, about fighting to focus. You see what I'm saying? And being strategically aggressive. You see what I'm saying? That's a powerful chapter. Y'all gotta go check out the book, man. I'm gonna leave a link down there below. But yeah, man, that's the main thing, is not being too distracted. You don't want to be too distracted, man. And then I'll even tell you guys. So like when I was in prison, I took some boxing. I was really into boxing at one time. I still am, but not as much as I used to be. But like I used to be really, really like, in it. I had like a trainer, and I had like fitness coach, like all the stuff. And so one of the things that we used to do, is okay, my coach would have the mitts, and he would basically run down, combinations for me. You see what I'm saying? Meaning, okay, so Troy, you're gonna left, right, and then you're gonna have to duck because I'm gonna swing, and then you're gonna come back up and you're gonna do so there was things that I had to instinctually remember. I had to have my, my footing, my balance correct, like all of these things, like you have to compute. And so the biggest thing with that is that if I got distracted or if I wasn't fully engaged and and I didn't duck when he swung, guess what? I got hit. And everybody, that been to boxing gym and stuff like that, like, if you get hit by your boxing instructor, it's your fault. If you're in the ring and you're sparring and the dude pops you in the face, it's your fault. It's always your fault. It's never like, hey man, what you do that for? No, I told you. Left, right, duck. You didn't remember. So over time, a lot of the time, you will start, like, your body and your mind will instinctually start to get into line to where you understand and you start seeing, the certain combinations. You start seeing where the punches are coming, and then you become that much better. You see what I'm saying? It gets to the point to where you could be running combinations with your coach, and people can be walking by. You know what I'm saying? People can be in the gym playing basketball. The ball comes out of bounds, comes near you guys. You're not even worried about it. You're just so focused on the mitts and, working the combination that you don't even care about that stuff. And that's the type of focus that I developed playing boxing. And then that's how I learned how not to be distracted. You see what I'm saying? Not being distracted it's a decision. It's a decision. We always have the decision not to be distracted, even while driving. You see what I'm saying? Even while driving and we see an accident, you know what I'm saying? We can look and still try to drive, but again, one, how important is it for us to see what happened? And two, is that gonna benefit us more than keeping our eyes on the road? You see what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. And when you start becoming that focused to where it's like, I already know what's over there. Like, I'm not even gonna waste my time. I want to stay focused on this. You see what I'm saying? That's when you become more and more in tune and more powerful. You see what I'm saying? And it's keeping your eye on the prize for a lot longer than other people. A lot of people, I'm gonna tell you the truth, a lot of people will tell you that they want certain stuff. They're gonna tell you that, oh, I want, I wish I had more money, or oh man, I wanna work out more. And the truth of the matter is that may be what they want in the back of their mind, but it's not what they want. It's not what they want more than the distractions that are around them. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Meaning their desire to have more money, their desire to, work out more, it isn't stronger than the distractions that are keeping them from reaching that desire. You see what I'm saying? And when people realize that and they start to really home in and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to cut off all the distractions from that source so that I can focus on this. That's when they start seeing things move. That's when they start hitting their marks. That's when they start achieving. And once you do that, it's over. It's a wrap. In my book, I also broke down to you guys when I first started learning how to play chess. Now, chess isn't for the easily distracted. It isn't. Unless you're just playing with, your uncle or a friend or a colleague, and you guys are using chess as an excuse, you know what I'm saying, to, have a conversation. You see what I'm saying? It's not really like, serious, but like when you're playing like serious like chess, like you can't be easily distracted. Like, and that's something that, I seen the effects of, as I started playing. When I started playing, it was so easy for guys to distract me because they would do a move that would cause me to react. You see what I'm saying? They would do stuff that would cause me to focus on certain pieces and certain, areas on the board, to the point to where that's all I'm focused on. I can't even come out with a plan now. I can't even execute, infiltrating their defense now, because now I'm on defense. I'm sitting here trying to figure things out. And, that it's a lot like life. It's a lot like life. That's why I love chess. If you're somebody out there and, you always seen the game of chess and you always been curious how the game works and want to play, I encourage you. It's fun. It's a mental game. It's very, very fun. Once you learn the rules of the game, it's fun because it really teaches you about life. And that point that I just gave you guys, if you don't have an offense to execute, you're always going to be on defense. Always. It's the same thing in sports. It's the same thing in business. It's life. It's life. If you have no execution, then you're just always going to be on defense. You're always going to be thrown, this way, that way, because you don't have nothing else to focus on. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so those are the main things about being distracted that I wanted to cover with you guys. And yeah, man. So what are some things that are a distraction for you? You see what I'm saying? What are some things that for a fact, yeah, I probably do get distracted by that a lot? Or, what are some things that you want to do that you say that, okay, I need to stop, getting distracted by this so that I could do more of that? What is it? Go ahead, drop it down in the comments and, we'll talk about it. But yeah, man, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. We all have the ticket to our own train of thoughts, but it's up to us if we're gonna ride that train all the way to the end of that destination, or are we gonna train hop? Oh no, I want to get on that train. Oh, I seen something over there. Let me get off. We're gonna no. You gotta ride that train all the way out, buddy. So this has been Bad Dog Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll leave a link at the bottom for you guys to go purchase our book. We still got some merch for you guys. Oh yeah, and we got a course for your for walking your dog. Got a master course. So if you are somebody who wants a better walk with your dog, you guys can go ahead and check that out. We laid out the 3 main reasons why your dog walks, they don't come out the way that you want to, and we address those, and we give you guys the technique so that you guys are able to walk your dog more efficiently and more calmly. So this has been Troy, Bad Dog Podcast, and we'll see you guys next time. Stay perfect. Till next time. See ya.